Hi there, Scorpio. Thank you for joining me for your weekly forecast for week commencing the 12th of September. Your friendship sector and sociabilities and the way that you link with other people are all very much under the astral spotlight just now, due to the sun making its way through your 11th solar house. But as the sun advances this week, it connects with the retreating Mercury, which continues its retrograde. The two are actually going to be side by side for the first half of the week. So when it comes to your long-term vision of what you want from your existence, you could have some amazing brainwaves due to the combust nature of these two planets. If you think the sun is about our innate drive and Mercury is about how we think, when they're together, they're almost supercharged. Mercury retrograde, of course, can cause difficulties, and there may have been some stop-starts, changes of plans that have been rather frustrating around the way you link with others over the last week or so. But Mercury retrograde can also be a chance to drill down into things and provide better answers, to provide the solutions to things that haven't been working so well. So if you're not quite so clear about what you want from your future, this can provide some support. It is true that the lunar eclipse, which occurs on Friday, could be much more complex in terms of this, because your traditional ruler of Mars is going to forge a T-square with the lunar eclipse in Pisces and also the Sun in Virgo. Over the next 6 months, whatever the desires you have, you need to be aware of how much it's going to cost, if it fits with your values, if you can see a long-term plan which is sustainable and viable. Of course, we can have dreams, but it's how we go about putting those dreams into action. Now, you can be very, very shrewd in your approach. Did you know that a lot of Scorpio people end up working in financial services? And that's because of your innate wisdom in terms of marshalling your resources. Now, if you're someone who does like to splash out now and then, well, given that it's not necessarily a rule that's going to fit everybody. But this is certainly a 6-month period that you're entering, where you may want to be a bit more risk-taking in your approach. But you can't be so counterintuitive to your natural being, where you can be a bit more skeptical, you like to check things out, you need to make sure that people are being honest, there's not a scam involved, and all these things would be entirely understandable on the back of this lunar eclipse. But this lunar eclipse can work in a more spiritual way as well. Maybe it's not to do with money, maybe it's more to do with your values and some of the people that you're going to encounter or who are in your life now. And perhaps your values are going to change, or perhaps people are not necessarily going to come up to the exacting standards that you want. Just be conscious of this, not just in your friendships, but also the potential in your love life too. Part of the reason for this is that Saturn, the planet of restriction, continues to forge a really wearing right angle to Neptune, which is in your sector of romance. So with the eclipse in this location too, you can see there's quite a big reverberation around your sector of hopes and dreams. However, this is a week when your traditional ruler, Mars, does actually forge a really superb angle to Uranus. Uranus is the planet of surprises, it's also the planet of restlessness, it's the planet where we want freedom and flexibility, but it for you over the last 4 years has meant that your boredom threshold has probably been running very much on the low side, and sometimes those workaday tasks that we all have to do have just seemed ever more onerous. But actually, this is a week when if you are prepared to think outside the box, you could come up with an idea that could be very, very good and actually may have some money in it. So if there's an entrepreneurial streak in you, it could well come out, but in an unexpected way. Despite this, Venus does forge an opposition with Uranus this week, and if there is something in your love life that's been simmering on the back burner, it could suddenly explode into the open. Perhaps someone's going to confront you with a revelation or a facet of your personality you're not so aware of. Then again, it could be you who's about to be much blunter and tell it how it really is. If this does happen, I actually think it could lead to a clearing of the air, because Venus then goes on to forge a really lovely angle to Mars. It's just the things that are happening more subtly can be just as important as more obvious things. For example, if you are single, watch out for someone's body language, because they may actually have quite a thing for you, but keep it very much to themselves. But how they're feeling could become more obvious in the latter part of this week. But generally, your approach to things is often governed by wanting to understand how they work and what it means to get beneath the surface. And that's a very good thing. But don't let your skepticism pulverize your hopes. But at the same time, your hopes need to be tempered by realism. It's just finding that balance. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Scorpio. Good luck and goodbye for now.